Greetings from Salty Bitten Adventures. I'm Mackenzie, and this is Hannah. Join us on our year-long adventure as we cruise America's Great Loop on our Ranger tug. All right, we're in Florence, Alabama right now, getting ready to use our first courtesy vehicle to go to Walmart. Yeah, all the boats are for Shoals Fest. There's a huge concert going on in the park right across from the marina. Jason Isbell's playing, and we have tickets for this evening.
Yes, we do.
Here's our van. Ready to go into Wilson Lock and Dam, and we're actually going in with a smaller tug and barge, which doesn't happen very often. A lot of times the commercial traffic goes in on its own, but if it's small enough and the pleasure craft are small enough also, they let everyone go in together.
Ready to party! This is a big lock. I don't know, that's like gotta be 60 feet.
See that little weird lock off to the left?
Oh yeah, it's a separate lock.
Yeah, I think that's what they meant by the parallel ones.
It's big. I texted Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
In this comment, so he said, I asked him about Granite's birthday, he gave me the information. And then he said, on a different note, where are you? How's the trip going? And how is your pet horse doing?
How is the small pony on board?
How's your pet horse doing?
Hey.
All right.
Why are you squeaking? Why are you squeaking so much, big puppy? Oh, you're a good little puppy. No. Take my hand to where you.
He's like all the way in there. We might be taking the... what he wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once we get the go-ahead from them, I'll radio them one more time.
Just to verify?
Yeah.
Long John Secure, Wilson Lock.
Roger, Captain. Wilson Lock to Pleasure Craft Young, come on in, chamber.
I just want to confirm one more time. You want us all the way forward, correct?
Roger. Yeah, you should. Well, once you get past him, you'll have two floating mooring beds on port starboard side. Y'all can choose from.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Depth perception's off a little bit. He looks like he's taking up the whole thing. All right, thanks.
No worries, Captain.
All right, go ahead and do starboard.
Yes, ma'am.
We're small enough where we should be able to fit on the two.
Wilson Lock and Long John. Hey, Captain, you go to 14 for me.
Starboard?
Yeah, let's do starboard. If they take starboard, we'll just go right behind them.
Yeah, it sounds good.
On the rail. Okay.
And I figured out that putting it a little closer
Yeah, I was like, that's really high. Is that what he's trying to do?
All right, here we go.
Hey, puppy dog. Puppy.
Coming down the rail.
Okay.
This is a giant lock. I don't know how far up this is, but it is like.
It might be 60 feet.
I think it's the tallest we've done.
Yeah. Oh, there's numbers. Oh, they run out. Never mind.
You want to stay behind them?
Yeah. We're just gonna inchworm real slow. We have all of our fenders on the starboard side. We're just gonna go real slow, popping the engine in and out of forward and neutral. But then once we actually get a little closer to the wall, I'll put it into reverse, and I'll turn the wheel all the way to the right while in reverse, and I'll also tab the bow thruster to the right, and it does what we like to call a crab walk. So it just kind of slowly moves the whole boat to the right, but in a slight backwards motion. We use the bow thruster while we're approaching the wall, just to make sure if we start to approach it too quickly, we can pop it to the left.
Wilson lock to the coop.
Alright, I'm currently in neutral right now. Probably about 3 feet off the wall, so I'm going to pop it a little close. I'm going to pop it to the right to get a little closer to the wall.
15 feet.
Now I'm going to go in reverse, just to slow us down, just a
10
little.
feet. You're 1 foot away from the wall. Come forward just a little.
Back into neutral.
5 more feet. 3 feet.
Wilson lock to the pleasure craft in the chamber. Hey, Captain, the second pleasure craft to come in, if you don't mind, could you please move up to that next pin for me, or go to the opposite side? This chamber is lateral filling, and you're going to have a very bumpy ride on the way up.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and go to the port side one instead.
Roger, Captain. Or you can go past the other boat if you want to. There's another pin right past them.
Okay, we'll go right past them. Okay, thank you. Hey, Dave, we gotta move up.
We're on starboard side or port
We're gonna
side?
stay on the starboard side.
Okay.
Ready to
1
push?
second.
Yep.
1 second. Okay. Take your time. I gotta get up there.
Yep. It's a big old fish.
What kind of fish?
I don't know.
I'm going on the rail.
Okay, I'm gonna go in the middle of the chamber and then kind of reverse diagonal so I can approach it a little more parallel.
Take your time, baby. I still gotta get one more.
Yep,
Hey, go back to that.
I am.
You gonna walk us back?
Yeah.
All right, you go ahead and come forward.
Yep.
I got that 20 feet.
Okay.
All right, 7 feet forward. And 2 feet closer. Looking good. Give me a little closer. Crab walk it a little bit.
Yep.
Alright, forward 5 feet. We're against the wall. Forward 5 feet. Got another 3 feet. Alright, good. Good. Reverse a little. Alright, good to go.
All right, we're good to go. Last plug of crack. This is a massive lock.
I don't even know how tall it is.
Navionics didn't have the height.
It looks like it's 100 feet.
Yeah.
And that wall, that scum line's where we're going. I think this is the first lock they built on the Tennessee River, so it's part of TVA.
Hi.
So it's old. It's real old.
All right, we're here in Decatur, Alabama. So what's really neat is they have provided infrastructure for a free city dock that is really, really, really long. You could tie up probably 20 boats on this thing. There's no amenities. You're not going to get water or electricity, but you are protected off the Tennessee River. Town's about a mile away, but hey, can't beat the price. It's free. We're here with 2 other looper boats. They also started from the state of Michigan, and they are doing the loop together, which I think is a really neat idea. You essentially have your forever buddy boat for the duration of the loop. But it's a very nice evening. We got a breeze. We're not gonna have to run the AC today. Really good evening experience here. And there's a big field for puppies.
We're in a lock. It's the lock that goes into Gunnersville Lake. We lost our bow thruster again. That's another story that we'll tell you about later. But we use our bow thruster a lot in the locks. And when we don't, the bow kicks out pretty good on it because we're so far back on the stern with one line. So Mackenzie's got this thing rigged right now where there's 2 lines. She's got one on the bollard running up to the midship, the forward midship cleat by me, and I'm out the window so the bow doesn't move. You can see she's kind of, she's got her Boga Grip fish grips. Just kind of holding it away from the wall. It's actually working really well. Like, we'll probably do some form of this in the future.
Yeah, we've been using the bow thruster probably too much when we're in the lock system.
Anyway.
Some of these big locks, like we went through a 130-foot one yesterday, like it just takes a while.
Yeah, and this is, we're like, oh, this is a small lock. It's like 45 feet, but it's giant. So anyway, that's our solution to another maintenance problem. Hello, we're in Chattanooga, so we're, I guess, 2/3 of the way up our little side trip up the Tennessee River. We're going almost to Knoxville, into Tellico Lake near Lenoir City. So we're actually parked at a marina that's basically right in downtown. It's a finger pier right on the Tennessee River. They got 3 or 4 other loopers here as well. Got dollar oysters for lunch. It's been good. So we wanted to just talk briefly about communication and I guess complacency. Because we've been going along for about a month and a half now, docking and departure has been pretty easy for us. I think it helps, obviously, that when you're in a small boat, docking definitely has the potential to be a lot easier than a little larger boat, But we stayed at the free dock in Decatur. And in the morning when we woke up, there was a pretty good north wind, and the area where the dock was towards the south side of that. So there was a headwind basically, and 2 of our looper boat friends left in the morning. We watched them. They were faced like bow to bow, and so when one left, their stern was into the wind, and they had to work pretty hard to get out. And then the other one, when they left, they didn't really have any trouble. So we weren't even really thinking about anything. I wasn't.
But then the wind did increase.
Yeah, and then we stayed much longer because we go faster. When we stayed around and did yoga and lifted and had breakfast, and then got underway about 3 hours later. By the time we left, the winds were up. They were probably 25 miles an hour. Probably the
direct headwind.
Yeah, and definitely I think that's like the windiest that we had tried to depart. But we didn't think about it much. We didn't really talk about it much. And then Mackenzie was captain, and I was taking the lines off, and it was just a side tie, so we weren't in a slip. And the first time we tried to leave, the boat moved back pretty hard, and it kind of pulled the bow. Even that didn't make me think, oh, we need to talk about it. But then when we finally did, we kind of got off at a weird angle. You could talk maybe a little bit what happened.
Yeah, if you imagine, the front of my fingers being the bow, we were facing directly into the headwind, and for some reason, we were angled where the stern was off kilter to the left from the dock. And when I tried to go into reverse to just diagonally go into the channel, the strong headwinds caught the bow and turned me. So I was now perpendicular to the dock and essentially going in like a circle. And what I chose to do was I tried to combat the wind with the bow thruster, and that does not work. So that the amount of torque that was placed on the bow thruster shear pin was too much. So the shear pin once again did its job and sheared, which caused us to lose bow thruster capability. So yeah,
and I didn't know what was going on. I was on the outside of the boat, and all I could see was the bow was starting to swing pretty quickly, like in a clockwise direction. And I couldn't hear anything, so I actually thought that the engine had died, which in this case it wouldn't have been deadly, but it would have been an emergency because we were at the back end of this place where all this wind and waves was going was a boat ramp. It was concrete, so it could have damaged the boat if we had lost power. And we didn't do a very good job of communicating. Honestly, I was speaking too loudly, and Mackenzie was not speaking at all. There was no middle ground between that, and so we I did not have spatial awareness as to what was going on during that time.
Yeah, and I just wasn't talking. I was just trying to make sure we didn't hit the dock. And luckily we didn't.
No, we didn't hit the dock.
The prop didn't hit the dock. The front of the bow didn't hit the dock. We were just kind of in our own little personal spiral of chaos. And eventually, you realize if you put the boat in forward idle and you're going at like 500-600 RPMs, that's not fast enough for a 25-mile-an-hour headwind. So, moral of the story is, sometimes when you have a lot of wind, one, you have to communicate and properly understand how you are going to leave the dock in a safe and effective way. But more than likely, you have to give the engine a little bit more power.
Yeah, just hold yourself in place on the dock.
Just hold yourself in place. But also, once you're going to leave the dock, you got to punch it just a little bit. And that was really the big learning point for us, I think.
It's funny. I mean, we think about it with current, but we did not think about it with wind. We just haven't been in that position. I think we got complacent. It's been so easy for us to park. We watch the bigger boats come in, and it's a big to-do to park, right? And for us, it's nothing. And it was that day, and it's probably, it was great to not mess the boat up, even though we had to change out that damn shear pin again, which was another. We got it down to an hour and a half. Took us 3 hours the first time. Now
50% cut.
Now it's an hour and a
3
half.
hours down to 150.
Except now we don't have any more spare shear pins. But
got those on order.
Yeah, so I think for us, like, it was good to have that problem and not hurt the boat. And the 3 mornings that we have left since then, we talk about what we're going to do before we do it. So, I think just for us, that was don't be complacent when you're leaving the dock. Even if you've done it a bunch of times, and communicate better. We've talked about how we're going to communicate better for both of us when we leave. So anyway, just a little side thing that happened this week that we didn't get any video of because we didn't think anything was going on.
Yeah.
So you just got to hear us talk about it. And I think this happens to all people, to all couples, at some point too. So hopefully we got it out the way.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
Thanks.